I made over $100,000 profit my first 10 months selling name brand products on Amazon. Back in 2021 when things were a lot more simple. Over the past 5 years, the game's changed. It's harder, there's more competition, and it's full of traps that new sellers need to avoid. So in this video, I'm breaking down 6 harsh lessons I've learned the past 5 years in the space so you can avoid mistakes, move faster, and actually scale the right way. But if you don't hear this now, you're gonna learn the hard way. And it's gonna cost you way more than just your time. And I haven't just one big sell on Amazon for myself. I've also helped tons of my students do the same. We'll pop a whole bunch of those student wins up here on screen. Let's get into the harsh lessons you need to know. So let's get one thing straight. If you're thinking of launching a private label product on Amazon, now is not the time. Amazon private label is by far the most complicated and expensive way to sell products on Amazon. Unfortunately, for most new sellers, it's also what a lot of gurus talk about. Buy an unbranded product from China, create your listing on Amazon, ship it over, and get it listed on Amazon's platform, and magically a bunch of people just buy it. Truth be told, that's actually not true whatsoever. You have to cold email and negotiate with Chinese suppliers, sometimes that don't even speak English well. You have to place big initial orders and wait a while for it to actually get here from China, spending a bunch of money. And then once the product actually gets here, if it's actually what you ordered, you then have to generate demand on Amazon because customers don't just want your random Alibaba trinket with no branding on it, which is going to cost a lot of money in ads, and you're going to have to know how to do copywriting and actually create your listing on Amazon. What makes significantly more sense is what I do and what I recommend you do, which is Amazon all-in arbitrage, buying discounted name brand products from big retail websites like Kohl's, Walmart, and Target to flip on Amazon for a profit. Items you already know about: Gap hoodies, Colgate toothpaste, PS5 controllers, and everything in between that customers are already searching for on Amazon with proven sales history, and we don't need to spend a bunch of money up front. And we don't need to commit to one product. With Amazon all-in arbitrage, we have tons of different products in our store at one point, so we never put too many eggs in one basket. All-in arbitrage is way better than private label. It's always been that way, but with tariff uncertainty going on the market, 100%, don't worry about private label. A lot of private label sellers had their cost of goods go up by over 100% recently. Instead, use all-in arbitrage to build cash flow first and learn the process. But if you're listening to this, now you know the right model, but what about how much capital you actually need to start? That's another thing beginners get totally wrong. A lot of people online think you need 5, 10, or even 20 grand to start selling on Amazon. That's true if you want to do the Amazon wholesale or Amazon private label model, which is way too risky and expensive for beginners. With all-in arbitrage, you only need 1 to 3K to get started. $40 a month for your Amazon seller account, $90 a month total for software. You don't need a ton of complicated and expensive software. All you need is SellerAmp and Keepa for product research, as well as Boxum for listing, shipping, and analytics. For supplies, you don't really need much. I have a full video on my channel. That's going to take like $100, and then you can hit the ground running and just save the rest for inventory, guys. Significantly less risky and easier to get started. A ton of beginners don't even start their business because they think it takes too much money to start. I'm here to tell you that's not the case whatsoever, and all-in arbitrage is the way to do it. But even with the capital rumor cleared up, there's one thing in 2025 that could provide a big roadblock for you if you don't know how to get around it. Amazon's ungating system isn't what it used to be. There's certain big brands and categories that new sellers can't sell, like Nike, Adidas, Lego, and Puma, that currently aren't open for new sellers to apply for. However, what you need to understand is if when you go to list a product on Amazon, if it lets you click request approval and apply to sell, you can go ahead and provide those documents. And contrary to a lot of false information out there online, as a complete beginner, you can get ungated for stuff even with no sales history. And there's also a lot of auto ungate products you can get approved for without even submitting documents to Amazon. And I actually have a big list of them for you that I'm actually going to give you completely free. So go ahead down below the description and I'll give you a list of auto ungate brands. You should be able to ungate over 100 plus of them today with no sales history as a brand new seller without even providing documentation. For those brands that you can apply for, that when you hit request approval and apply to sell in Amazon Seller Central, do ask for documentation. It's actually really simple to go ahead and get those approved. Most beginners just get it wrong. Say you want to get approved for the entire grocery category, for example. Just go on Target.com and type in Yogi Tea brand. Then you just go ahead and buy 10 of the Yogi Tea products, or honestly, anything that's also listed on Amazon. And then immediately you get that order confirmation email, you download that as a PDF, and that's what you submit off to Amazon as your invoice. And I know what you're thinking. You've seen people online talking about how ungating has become harder in 2025. That's not true besides those couple brands that are what's called hard gated for new sellers. Getting declined for ungates where Amazon tells you, hey, the documents provided weren't enough, they're not what you're looking for, is completely normal, and it's typically going to happen 5 to 10 times per brand. Luckily, you don't just have to submit that order confirmation email. You can also include other documentation as the order gets to you, like a picture of the product, the shipping email, the delivery email, maybe the credit card statement, and just make that file more convincing for Amazon. But it's very easy to get discouraged if you don't come in with the expectation that getting declined for ungates is completely normal. Some ungates even require like 100 units. Personally, I wouldn't recommend worrying about those too much as a complete beginner, but in some cases, we are still totally seeing 10 units work for those 100 unit requirements. So while so many new sellers just assume they're banned from getting ungated forever after getting declined once or twice, if you understand that getting declines completely normal, that order confirmation and invoices from big websites, any websites you've heard of, Kohl's, Walmart, Target, or any of the brand websites will work. Getting declined just going to happen sometimes. Keep submitting that same documentation, adding more to it right there. You're going to go ahead and get approved over time. If you want to see one come through really quick, go buy 10 of an and one product from Walmart and submit that off to Amazon. And what you have to understand is a lot of people think you have to do just auto ungate products when you're a complete beginner. Not true whatsoever, but definitely go ahead and take a look at the auto ungate list down below in the description. And here's a truth that hit me when I got started. I was wasting hours looking for the wrong products, and now I know I was actually doing the wrong methods as well for my product research. Most beginner sellers spend hours doing manual sourcing on unproven websites. They think that items are going to be profitable at the advertised price they see on those websites, and they aren't using the different discount mechanisms that, truth be told, are how you actually do effective all-in arbitrage product research in 2025. With increased competition, it's really important to lower your buy cost and create more profit margins using a variety of different methods, like holiday sales. We got Father's Day, we got the 4th of July, we got Prime Day coming up. Every time there's a holiday, a lot of retailers run big discounts. That means more winning products for us, as well as also taking a look on the free cashback and coupon extensions like Capital One Shopping and Coupon Birds, making sure you're getting as much cash back as possible using the Rakuten Chrome extension, as well as for websites that accept a sales tax permit, submitting your reseller certificate, and a variety of other methods like subscribe and save and discounted gift cards from Cardbear. And really, you just have to understand that every website has 1 or 2 tips and tricks that create the profit margins, and when you know them, you're going to find a bunch of stuff, and when you don't know them, product research can be really tough, and that's why beginners waste so much time expecting items to be profitable at the advertised price, which is pretty much never the case. I see this all the time with my coaching students. They come into my program, they get on the one-on-one Zoom call with me, and they're like, I've just been struggling to do product research. And I'll say, okay, show me what items you've been looking at, and I'll be able to find those items profitable because I know the different discounts. So that's a huge benefit of my coaching program, is just getting plugged into all those different coupons, tips, tricks, and strategies for these different websites, and having me check your leads as well. To make matters worse, not only do new sellers not know the right discounts to use and know that they need to be using discounts to create winning products, they're also doing manual sourcing, where you go to random websites and look through their clearance sections. That is a terrible idea if you're a complete beginner. What makes way more sense is the storefront stalking method, just using SellerAmp, literally starting out at the winning products you see in my videos and going ahead and seeing the other products successful sellers have in their catalogs, and going ahead and Googling those products, seeing what websites carry them, and then going ahead and making those items profitable using those different discount mechanisms I just mentioned. So if any of these product research issues sound like you, let's go back to the basics. Use Keepa to tell if an item's been profitable over time. Use SellerAmp to calculate the profit today and make sure it looks good and make sure it sells quick under a 200K BSR. And then strictly do the storefront stalking method as a beginner, and then make sure when you're Googling products, you can literally start on the winning products you see in my videos, you go through the checklist. Okay, does this website have a sale on? Do they have any coupon codes? Do they take a tax exempt permit? Do the coupon extensions show any deals for them? And when you understand that you don't really find winning products, you make winning products, things get way easier. And once you figure out how to actually find winning products, that's just the beginning. The real journey begins once you make your first sale. Too many new sellers beat themselves up over the early days. They think they're failing when they're actually just dealing with a necessary process everyone deals with. You're not building a 7-figure business in 3 days, and that's okay. I tried selling on Amazon for over a year unsuccessfully when I was in college, just selling used books on the platform. But once I learned you could get ungated and I could actually do online arbitrage as a beginner, I went from 0 to 7 figures my first year, but it took me several months to get to 10 grand a month in profit, and I even did it significantly faster than most people. What you have to understand is that business models don't fail. People do. But business models also don't succeed. People succeed. Your success is your responsibility, and having a long-term mindset is absolutely crucial to succeed selling on Amazon. When you're a beginner, you're competing with everyone else that's a beginner that's working at just the baseline, just the entryway. But over time, you learn a bunch of stuff. You find a couple cool sellers to work with. You find a couple of discounts that work on different websites. You learn different sales cycles of different suppliers, and things get way easier. But even with the right mindset, timing still plays a part. And if you're starting right now, you're luckier than you think. Most people sleep on timing. They think that Amazon's the same thing all year, but that's not the case whatsoever. There are times of the year when everything aligns, and we're getting into it right now. Watching this at the start of the summer, Prime Day is right around the corner. Back to school gets started in July and August, and Q4 is coming up too, the best time of the year between October and December, when there's tons of holidays and absolutely insane consumer demand. A couple years ago, I had my first $10,000 profit month during back to school, and my first $30,000 profit month in November of 2021 when Q4 was just getting started, and a month later, I did over 50K profit. Q4 is absolutely crazy. So if I were you and I was getting started right now, I would go ahead and get my Amazon seller account open ASAP. I would start out doing the storefront stalking method, just from the winning products you see in my videos, using SellerAmp and Keepa for product research, as well as Boxum for listing, shipping, and actually managing your inventory. My goal would be to get my first 10 listings up within the month so I can be fully ready to rock and roll, started, selling, and profitable by Prime Day. So the best times of the year are coming, guys, and you need to be prepared, and that gets started with taking action today. And if you want personal help from me to take full advantage of Prime Day, back to school, and Q4, I'm here to invite you to join my private coaching program. We'll work directly together, one-on-one. I'm the only Amazon coach that actually does one-on-one sourcing calls with all my students. I'm going to plug you in on all my favorite coupons, tips, tricks, and strategies. You're going to be around other Amazon sellers crushing the game. We have 3 group coaching calls a week and tons of additional resources. If that's something you're interested in, take a look at the first link down below in the description to go ahead and apply for my private coaching program. And you won't just be learning from me. You're joining a group of other Amazon sellers that are sharing wins, holding each other accountable, and learning together every single week. And that's just the beginning. So thanks so much for watching, guys. If you have any questions, let me know down below in the description. Make sure to subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys in the next one.